Good evening everyone, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about random things on this planet without extensive research to help you night-night faster. If you have a different opinion regarding today's topic, please make sure to let me know in the comment section or just argue with me there because I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Today we are talking about the Sankebetsu bear attack. Back then, when the bear versus men videos were popular, I wasn't making videos yet. But now that I'm here, I have to talk about it. So basically, someone made a series of videos asking women if they would rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear. And a lot of women said they would rather be stuck with the bear because men are evil and they are capable of doing much worse things to them. My jaw was on the floor because if you think that's the case, you don't know about bears. I couldn't believe how they could come to the conclusion that an apex predator is safer to be around with. Now, I understand there are men who are criminals and they've done horrible things to women. But the question or the implied condition wasn't, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a male criminal or a bear? The conditions were, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a random man or a bear? So the women picked the bear. Men on the internet were upset because not only were they being compared to animals, they also lost. So the men made videos complaining or voicing their disagreement. Some of them are very aggressive in their approach, and the women said, "Hey, this proves my point." Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you happen to see this video, don't pick the bear. Please don't pick the bear. Today's bedtime story does involve bear attacks. Not bear attacking bears, but bears attacking people. Here is the TLDR version if you get scared easily. People today are so far removed from nature that they've forgotten how scary it is. And this is a horrible thing when you are oblivious to reality. You make stupid decisions, such as thinking it is safer to be around a literal predator than a member of our own species. You have been warned. In December 1915, Hokkaido, Japan was sparsely populated. Frontier families who were mostly farmers, hunters, fishermen, and loggers were just beginning to slowly occupy the untamed wilderness. Among them was the village of Sankebetsu, where a small community gathered around their homes, surviving together through the winter. On December 9th, around noon, a man named Alta came home to the smell of blood and a strange odor in his front yard. He quickly rushed inside. There was a giant hole in the wall. Blood was splashed across the floor in big and small puddles, accompanied by chunks of human hair and muscle tissues. His wife, Mayu, was nowhere to be found. Fortunately, he saw his young son sitting there in a chair, so he walked a little closer. Unfortunately, the boy's head was missing. Alta began screaming for help. Soon the entire village came over. Based on the scene and the way the house was broken into, people suspected that it was a brown bear attack. They suddenly recalled seeing a massive bear wandering around on the outskirts of the village about a month ago. Normally, bears go into hibernation during winter. The only scenario where they would wake up would be when they had failed to eat enough food before the time came. The villagers quickly formed a search/hunting party. Deep in the woods, they found Alta's wife, Mayu. She was half buried in the snow and partially eaten. The bear had decided to use the ground and the snow as a refrigerator so he could come back to finish his meal at a later time. Alta fainted, but there was nothing he could do about it, as his wife and son are both already dead. So then he was forced to get over himself. However, this problem is a lot worse than the villagers thought. As we all know, in order for a bear to survive, it needs to eat food continuously. Once a bear realized how easy it was to hunt humans, it would attack again. Adult male brown bears can weigh over 1,500 pounds and stand nearly 10 feet tall on their hind legs, and they are not slow at all. Despite their size, they can run up to 35 miles per hour. They have a bite force of around 975 pounds per square inch, strong enough to crush bones, splinter trees, and even bite through metal. Their sharp canine teeth are typically around 2.5 inches long, and they're adapted to gripping prey and tearing apart flesh. Though typically cautious around humans, starvation or desperation can drive brown bears to become extremely dangerous because humans are extremely easy to hunt. The villagers took Mayu's body home. The same night, the bear returned to the house. A group of men waited there with rifles loaded. Unfortunately, due to low visibility and a lack of tanks and nuclear bombs, the bear got away. On December 10th, it changed targets. The Miyuki family lived in a safer location within the village, so it became a shelter for a few other families, mostly women and children. When the women are cooking, the window suddenly exploded inward. The same bear crawled in, attacking an old man, but only taking one bite. And then it approached a young boy. It grabbed a hold of him and swung him around in the air. It was about to attack the mother of the bear, but it was distracted by the smell of a pregnant woman who was hiding in the corner of the bedroom. The woman begged the bear not to hurt her unborn child, but the bear didn't speak Japanese. It tore open her stomach and dug its snout into it, and of course, the mother and the baby both died. When the villagers got there, the bear escaped again. At this point, the government has already gotten involved. They sent the military to the area and set traps, but the bear didn't fall for it. They then got in contact with a veteran bear hunter named Yamamoto Haikichi. Based on the bear's tracks and descriptions, Yamamoto identified that this was actually an infamous man-eater in the area and not just an ordinary bear. It had a distinct white marking on its chest. The bear was named Kesagake, meaning the diagonal slash from the shoulder. On December 14th, Yamamoto made the decision to go into the woods alone to hunt down the bear. He went in from the opposite direction that the hunting party usually took. The bear was found resting near a Japanese oak tree. Yamamoto approached it and was unfortunately seen by it. The bear stood up and charged at him. Yamamoto waited until it was about only 20 meters away and fired a single shot near its heart. It did some damage, but it couldn't quite stop the bear from running toward him. So he fired again, this time in the bear's head. When everything was over, the bear's body was taken back to the village of Sankebetsu. It was measured at 8 feet and 10 inches tall and weighed around 749 pounds. People cut open its stomach and found the remains of the victims' bodies, clothes, and other accessories. They turned the bear into a family-style meal and kept its skin and head to remind others about the incident. Lots of lessons were learned, and the most important one was about the danger of living near wild brown bears and how scary a failed hibernation could be. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't pick the bear, and have a good night.